Hello, everyone, and welcome to day 23 of this 30-day Living an Authentic Life Challenge. Before I go any further, I want to first take a moment and say thank you for those of you that have been joining us this whole time. It is not easy to show up 30 days to do something like this, but you're here, you're committed, and I commend you for it. Because as you apply each of these elements to your day on a regular basis, you will find yourself in a position where it will be supportive. And in the meantime, today's conversation is talking about something that a lot of us need to take a little bit deeper. And the conversation is about protection. Because in this day and age, we need people that act justly and stand up for what is right, even when other people don't. When you find yourself in spaces and places where you see wrong, you know things should be different, and you want to confront those unfair practices on your job, in your family, in your community, you often are wondering if it's just me, how will this work out? I want you to know that lots of times change often took place when it was one voice that saw that there needed to be a, a advocate for truth, a moment for justice. Those things that we often know need to be said, and somebody just has to be the first. It's not easy being the first because when you pioneer anything, you are often the first subject to whatever chaos that will show up because of it. And if you are disrupting a pattern that has been going on that people have been reaping the benefits for at the expense of other individuals, and you mess up their money, their power, their whatever, you will be targeted. And we see that unfortunately happening in a lot of spaces and places in the United States at this time. But for those that stand up for protection, stand up and align yourself so that your actions and your values give you the power and the strength to move forward. As stated previously, when our values, who we are at the core of our being, is really focused on how we should move, whatever you vision, when you get there, you'll be able to sustain it. But for individuals that don't like being questioned because their values do not align, one day they'll get the chance to see. And if you find yourself in a position where you are standing, I discovered that the way that you can do this is by asking questions. Asking questions forces individuals to think a little bit deeper about their behavior. Because if you want a genuine answer from an individual, ask the right question at the right moment. And when you ask it honestly and respectfully. Usually, a question posed doesn't often cause a straight rile up. Sometimes people think that in order for you to induct justice or get an active, if I can get my time together, we can have this conversation. An active thought process about truth being revealed, you have to be abrasive and go straight forward. No, you don't always have to run right into the fire. You can ask a question to get the person that is causing the chaos to start thinking about their action. Because a critical question often fosters self awareness and change. A good question keeps the listener thinking long after you've asked. Think about it. Let's start off with a simple question that can change and impact somebody's life forever. Will you marry me? That question for a lot of people will cause you to pause and think, why would I want to marry whoever? If it's a question that comes way early in a relationship, it makes you wonder what's wrong with them. If it comes so late after you've been pondering, you may be extremely excited because you've been waiting for it. But it's still a question asked at the right moment, at the right time, that will help you create the changes that you need. So you have to train yourself to recognize when's the best time to ask. And you have to train yourself to recognize whatever injustice that you see early on so that you can respond thoughtfully and not just brashly react to it, so that you can form a question that will support you and get the changes that you would like to have start to take place. So let me start wrapping this up for those in the public while we decide to go deeper inside of the Reset Strategies community. Take 5 minutes today. Ask yourself, where do I see unfair moments? People being treated wrong in my family, in my community? Where can I form a question that will cause somebody to pause long enough to think about how they're treating somebody? Choose a situation and then decide one small step that you can do. Then, after that, start seeing what happens. And as you start documenting what happens along the way, you'll get the opportunity to see, is there a secondary question or a tertiary question that you can start presenting so that change can eventually take place. Because we had a conversation about water. One drop of water may not have as grand an impact as you think, but if you have one drop of water that consistently happens every single day at a consistent moment in time, that one drop of water will have an impact that can drill a hole in whatever surface it's dropping. One focused drop at a time. And so for today, day 23, protection. It can happen in one small change with one small moment, and you can start it with a question. So for those of you that would love to join us on extending the conversation, I encourage you, click the link below and join us in the Reset Strategies community. I look forward to seeing you. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood, walking in my purpose, and I want you to do the same.